Okay, we are going live. We are going live, and it is straight up 5 o'clock, straight up 5 o'clock. So we are on time, folks, on time for this part 2 broadcast, part 2 of our emergency broadcast yesterday regarding a watch for the lovely Brianna, So let me see if I can pull this up on the iPad. Are going live. And there it is. I think my audio sounds hot. I think my audio is hot. I'm going to back it off a little bit. Let's see here. Mic 1, down. Testing 1, 2. Down, down, down 1. Okay, so I just took it down just one notch. Let me know how that sounds. I think my audio was a little bit hot and potentially a little bit distorted. So I took it down just one notch. Let me know what you think about that. And Stig is in the house, Tom's in the house. They're all over the place, having a little conversation there. And let's see, Lance is in the house. We want some suggestions, some additional optional suggestions for the lady Brianna. And I think that what we're going to do is we're going to study the situation a little bit more and measure 7 times and cut once. So let me go and pull up the link. Well, actually, I think I still have the link. Okay, here's the here's the watch that was on Chrono 24 that is also by on Crown and Caliber's website. And matter of fact, let me see if I can pull that up. Let me see if I still have that link handy here. Yeah. Give me a second here and I'll pull it up. Okay, so this is the watch as it stands on Crown and Caliber. All right, we're going to go through it real quick here. Oh, I hate when they have all these silly pop-ups. And there she blows. Good-looking watch. Good-looking watch, if I do say so. So that's an option. That's definitely an option. But I think we should explore other options. I don't think we should be hasty on this one. Audio is fine. Okay, is that after the adjustment? Hopefully. All right, so there's also a purple watch. Let me see if I can find it here. Give me a second and I will find it. I did put a link in the description of this video just so that if you want to know where you can find these links, they are there, and that's where I'm going right now to find them. Give me a second here, and it is, yeah, here's the one with the purple dial. You know, Bree likes purple. So let's pull this up in another tab. And now these watches are significantly more money just about everywhere, this particular model. So I'm guessing that this is a newer model with the purple dial. And now this does not have the 369, which I can see the benefits of either. Not having the 369 does make it a cleaner looking dial, especially on a small watch. You want a fairly clean looking dial, right? So if I had to give the nod either way, I would probably give the nod to this style, but I do like the 369, I have to say. But this is quite a price jump. Now let me know your thoughts on why this is such a price jump. Is this just because this is a newer model? Is that the idea? Educate me a little bit on these ladies' pieces. Let's see here. Craig sent an email of a possible Rolex for Bree. Okay, we will take a look. There is also a pink dial version of this watch, which Bree may... Yeah, but her favorite color is purple. Yeah, I hear you, though, about the pink. Wonder what discount you could get on a new OP26. Might not be a lot more. Tom in the house. Yeah, then this price here, I think you're right. I think that's all the money. It says retail's $48.50, right? So I'm guessing that's basically a new watch they're selling there because they're only giving you 3% off. I'm guessing that's the situation. But again, that's just a guess. Okay. Kyle's in the house. Is that brand new? At that price, Kyle, I'm guessing it should be. I'm guessing it should be. What does it say here? Let's see here. I doubt they're allowed to say, right? Because technically they're not allowed to sell a new watch online like this. But I'm guessing... I don't even see here if it says box and papers. Where does it say that? I don't see it. But I'm guessing it's pretty close to, at that price it must be. In any event, we know full well that I could buy one brand new for that. Yeah, probably at the AD, absolutely. Bree, what do you think about that purple dial? What do you think about that, Bree? That purple dial. What do you think about that? The lovely Bree is in the house. Let's see. I myself like a 34 to 36 millimeter watch on a woman. For me, 26 millimeter. Yeah, but she's got tiny, tiny wrists. Yes. Yes, with the exclamation point. You do not understand the situation we have. It's the same situation with Leslie. When Leslie got hers, correct me if I'm wrong, Kyle, but you had to literally take every link out to get it to fit. Her wrist is so small. And I think Bree's is about the same. Can we say tiny wrist? Anybody? Can anybody say tiny wrist? Strong but tiny. Strong but tiny. Okay, so let's take a look at the link that the Lanster sent. We're digging deep into this watch situation for the lovely Bree. The lovely Bree. Now this is very interesting. A 26 mil Yachtmaster. I had no idea they made such a thing. And I'm guessing that dial has to be pretty small to be 26 mil and still have a bezel like that, platinum bezel. That is cool, though. That has a very high cool factor. Very good call, Lance. Very good call, because Bree is kind of sporty. So she might like having that rotating bezel that a Yachtmaster has. She might kind of like that. Because I have to say, she is sporty. But she's also very, very elegant. Very classy. So I think maybe the Oyster Perpetual is a better call. See, we can close. Go ahead and close this window. We don't need that one. And let's see. We can close this window. We don't need that. And we'll keep that window. And we'll keep that window for now. Okay, what the heck's here? Okay, we'll keep this window. Why they keep doing the daggone pop-ups. Okay, so that's where we are. That's where we're standing right now. And let's see what catch up on this. Every link is out, and it's on the smallest micro adjustment. No other watch would even be an option in the Rolex lineup. None of them would fit her. There you go. This is what we're talking about, Kyle. This is the situation we're dealing with. Tom's in the house. Whilst there's no chance of getting discount on popular men's sports watches, I'm sure there's room on women's, especially 26 mil. Oh, I agree. Absolutely. Absolutely. I think you probably get at least 10%. at least. Kyle's in the house. Wow, that Yachtmaster is super cool. Kyle Jet. Tom has to be right on this. They should give a discount on a new 26 mil at the AD. Yeah, and we will go. I think Bree and I are going to go down to the AD here. We'll make an appointment. I think there's still appointment only. We'll make an appointment. By the way, let me know, what do you think about the bug in the upper right-hand corner, the Mid-Atlantic TV bug? My buddy made that with the old style TV set, Mid-Atlantic TV. It to me, it doesn't look like completely sharp. It looks a little bit like it's not sharp. But let me know what it looks like on your end. And I've got a couple of other bugs I can put up there also to take a look at while we're playing around with the little bugs on the screen. Let's see. Stig says, hello, Lady Brianna. This is exciting. Lance is so good at finding watches. Absolutely. We've got several people that hang out in the chat that are good at finding watches from time to time. Absolutely. Oh, and speaking of talent in there, if anybody wants to come up with a bug for me to put in my upper right-hand corner, a cool-looking bug with Mid-Atlantic TV and something cool, right? It needs to be a PNG file with a clear background, on a clear background, so that I can put it up on there. And so if anybody wants to get creative, I know Carlos is good at fun graphics. I know he could come up with something, but he's traveling, so I don't know how much he can do on the road. Let's see. Aero Advocate. My Rolex AD has a black deep sea Dweller available out in the open today. Too big for my taste, though, and hard to resell. Yeah. You don't want to buy a watch you don't want to resell and then end up stuck with it. You don't want to be in that situation. Best to buy one you want, and then if you're able to resell it for a profit, it's like a bonus, right? Lance is in the house, and he says, thanks to Stig. I like the little TV logo, says Kyle. Rolex dealers in my area aren't giving me any info on the release tomorrow. Anybody heard any new rumors on that? Did you have a look at the new Seamaster? Are you thinking about a new Seamaster for Lady Bree? Does Omega make a model with a screw-down crown that's small enough for Bree? Because I think Omega would be an option if they make something like that would be a competitor to the Oyster Perpetual. Do they make anything that would be small enough for the lovely Bree? We'll have to ask Steve next time he's on the show. I think we asked him that question before, and he didn't really come up with something. Maybe that was Grand Seiko we were asking about. Yeah, for Bree, and they don't have much selection. Maybe Omega does have something. I know Lance has found a couple of good used Omegas. Omega might be a possibility for the lovely Bree's first. But see, here's the thing. If she gets an Oyster Perpetual, that's like a lifetime watch. She doesn't even have to worry about ever making a change. She could literally wear that for the rest of her life. After 25 years or so, it'll probably have to be serviced, but that's no big deal. I think it could be a lifetime watch. Let me know what you think about that in the chat. Is Leslie planning on hers being a lifetime watch? Let us know in the chat. Let's see. A Rolex is its own elegance. It works with everything, and if it does not work on a certain outfit, it is a Rolex, so it will still work. The allure of the crown is huge. Well, I mean, like I say, an Oyster Perpetual is so classy. I mean, it's timeless, and yes, absolutely, it would work. Leon says, I just got my estimate back from Little Treasury for the Oyster Perpetual 36. It will cost $850 for the complete service and the replacement rotor, axle, and all seals. Well, I would say if they do a really good job, and I'm assuming they will, whoever he has doing it, I think is top notch. I think that's very competitive. I don't know what Rolex would charge. That's a good question, what Rolex would charge. But I can't imagine it would be much less than that. I can't imagine. I don't know what the current charges are for Rolex services. So, yeah. Bree says that's true. Lifetime watch. Fella is in the house. Absolutely is, with a wrench. Jaden's in the house. Craig, you're competing again with Tim Mosso live streaming with a mask on. No. Please don't tell me that he's streaming with a mask on. Oh my goodness. That's insane. That's ridiculous. Speaking of that, I got to show you. This. Give me a second here. I got to go to my history. This is funny. Give me a moment here to pull this up. This is funny stuff. Funny stuff, I'm telling you. Okay, so here we go. History. I just watched this a little while ago, so I'm able to bring this up. Okay. All right, here we go.
Then Donald Trump was elected, and we breathed a sigh of relief.
Okay, I'm going to have to skip this
He actually
ad.
fought for
Give me a second
American
here.
workers.
Okay, here we go.
I'm going to try to get this to John. Okay. It's just going to take
See, a lot of them are not wearing masks.
Here, give it to me.
Okay, so I'm not going to watch. I'm not going to show the whole video, but some of them were wearing masks, and a lot of them weren't. And the president was in very close proximity to a lot of these guys. And this was today, right? This was today. Let me skip forward to part where. Let's go here. Okay, see that guy behind him has no mask, right? And see that guy right next to him, no mask. Guy behind him, no mask. The guy to the right there, no mask. Right? Guy behind him, no mask. See, some of the people have masks, and a fair number of them do not, right? So I'm just kind of skipping through here, as you can see. See that guy immediately to his right there, no mask. And the officer there, no mask. Now, they're pretty close to him, right? Pretty close. Okay. Oh, shoot, I'm not showing this. That was on me. Okay, so you can see that, and that's still, yeah, those guys are pretty close to the President of the United States, okay? Okay, so the point that I'm making is this. All right. He is briefed every day on this thing. He knows as much about this virus as anybody, right? And he's obviously at a at-risk group, right? He's older, and he's got some weight on him, right? And so here's the thing. Obviously, he's not that concerned. Sure, these people, I'm sure, have been tested and all that, but the tests aren't 100%. They have false positives and false negatives. I mean, they're not 100%, right? So clearly, he realizes that this thing is really not a big deal, okay? And it isn't. If you look at right now, the latest death tolls, I mean, it's about 1,000 people dying every day, which normal deaths in the United States of America, just so you know, are 7,500 people die every day, right, from all causes. And so if 1,000 people are dying, quote, from this thing, right, that most of those people probably had a lot of conditions and, you know, diabetes, whatever, and probably would have died anyway. So it's really a non-issue, and this proves it. Things like this absolutely prove it. Now, here's the deal. He was boxed into a position politically where he had to make a big deal out of the thing because if you remember, initially he downplayed it. And then, you know, he was kind of like pushed into, you know, quote, taking action, right, and taking it seriously and all this. And so all the shutdowns happened and everything that has happened, right? But clearly, this shows you that it really is no big deal because there's no way they would have the President of the United States this close to this many people, a number of which without any masks, and acting like it's no big deal, right? This was not an official thing. This was after the thing or before it or whatever. This was like a open mic type thing, right? This was like not what was broadcast, okay? So, but clearly you see what was going on there. So, let's see. On alone in his apartment. No, don't tell me that he's broadcasting live from his apartment and he's got a mask on. Please don't tell me that. Please, please, please. Leon says, I'm not crying over the price. Rolex RSC is about $1,000 to $1,200. I will see it back from the little treasury in about 2 weeks. Yeah, again, I just don't know what the Rolex servicing prices are these days. But yeah, it doesn't surprise me at all that it would be $1,000 to $1,200. Yeah. So and the key is how good a job they do. Right? If they do a great job, then it's obviously well worth it. And my guess is they will do a great job. And Leon says, we are all going to get the virus, mask or no mask. Yeah, a lot of us have probably already had it and never knew we had it. That's how this thing works. Masks are like using a chain link fence. Well, also, the areas where they have the highest mask usage have the highest infection rates. See people touching their face all the time, taking the masks on and off and touching their face and all that. That infects you, right? So basically the masks cause you to get infected. It's a total scam. Total freaking scam. And the lockdowns, by the way, also increased spread because when you're enclosed in air conditioning or in heat in an enclosed home, like in the wintertime in New York, they locked everybody down and put everybody in their apartments. Then one person would go out and get the virus and come in and infect everybody in there, right? And so that's why they had such a huge death toll in New York. That plus they were taking infected people and putting them back in the nursing homes and basically slaughtering all the elderly, right? Just literally slaughtering them, those that are most at risk, right? So yeah, the lockdowns caused more spread and more death, and the mask caused more spread and more death. So everything the government did to mitigate has basically, in typical government fashion, done the opposite of what it should have done. So that's how that whole thing works. The government is just not good at doing things, just in case you guys didn't know that. Okay, so enough of all that. Let's see. To keep flies out of your backyard. Okay. According to looks, Lady Brianna must have a gold day date. According to functionality, she needs a sports Rolex. Well, that is just my 2 cents. Yachtmaster looks interesting. It's a very good observation, Stig, and it's a quandary. It is a quandary when you have somebody that is classy and elegant like Lady Bree, but very active. And I thought about like a lady date in gold because they're not really that expensive. You can find them for around $7,500 in really great condition. The problem is I think she would get bracelet stretch because she's going to wear this thing all the time, and I think she'd have a problem with bracelet stretch. And so, obviously I'm a big fan of an all gold watch, but if she's going to be wearing this thing all the time for many, many years, I think, unfortunately, I think she's got to go steel. And maybe at some point get like an elegant gold dress watch to rotate in when she's dressed up. Might be a good move. So there you go. Tim says, I'll make a confession. I have had the virus. How bad was it, Tim? Do tell. Do tell. Been looking at a used 29mm Seamaster for my wife. She needs a quartz. Think they stopped making them 10 years ago, though. Okay. Very interesting. Yeah, we've looked at a couple of used Omegas that were very interesting looking in the past for potential watches. Leon's in the house. Plus, the watch is still in Maryland and not 6 states away. The watchmaker is a retired Rolex tech, and Little Treasury offers a 2-year warranty on the work. Yeah, no, it sounds good. Sounds good to me. Masks are pure scams, says G Fuel. It doesn't do anything. I think it causes problems because, again, I think people touch their face more often because they have the mask on. So I think it makes them more susceptible. Tom's in the house. Kyle in the UK, they go for 1,000 to 1,200 in very good condition. Not a bad deal. Eduardo, my bracelet came in. Do you want me to call in? Yes, absolutely. Skype in. Show it to us. Do tell. Do show it to us. Yes, yes, yes. I'm wearing the stunner, by the way. The stunner on wrist. And I've got it below the cuff again today because this is also a 15.5 33 Gitman Brothers shirt, so it's a little bit snug. But again, the benefit of this 002 is I can wear it right on the bone or below the bone, and it's still super comfortable. I couldn't do that with my Date 8 back in the day. I had to either have it, I could have it below the bone, it was a little uncomfortable, but generally I wore it above the bone. You know what I mean, this bone here on your wrist, right? But this one, it doesn't matter. I can wear it anywhere, and it's equally comfortable. It's absolutely freaking amazing. It's mind-boggling how comfortable this is. Sent an email. Yes, the one. Okay, let me see here. Let's try to pull up this email before he calls in. Oh boy, we've got a couple of. We've got a couple here. All right. Stand by. Here's a Grand Seiko. That's an interesting looking piece. I think that's a lousy photo, though. That one's a better photo. But my guess is it's not going to have a screw-down crown. It would be an interesting piece, though. And since it's quartz, she doesn't have to worry about it stopping if she takes it off wrist for a while. Let's see here. Let's add this. Let's look at the size of this. This is, doesn't say, 26 mil. Okay. So let's add this to the watch list just because we can. Good call. Good call. All right, now let's look at this next watch, a Seamaster 28 mil. Okay, all right, now we got to cut to Eduardo. Here we go. Here we go. Okay, let me get my headset on here. Okay. Let's see what we've got here. Eduardo, reconnecting. There's a poor network connection. Okay, we're connected now. All right, let's see what you have.
So that's the box that came in, but I've had it for a couple of days now.
Okay, got it on wrist. Nice. It looks nice.
Yeah. So this would be in full sun. It's quite bright.
Now, is it comfortable?
Yeah, I got it in 7.5 inches, and as you can see, I got enough wiggle room. It rolls up and down.
Now, what size is your wrist? About 7.25?
No, probably like 6 6/8.
Okay.
Just under 7 inches. Yeah.
Okay.
And I could probably fit about a finger-ish underneath.
Okay. Yeah.
So you can see.
So it's comfortable. Yeah.
Yeah, and this is a 3 mil Franco. 22 karat.
Interesting.
Yeah. So so the package he sends, the gentleman's name is Braden. So in here, I got a sticker. Throw that on my computer for later.
Mm-hmm.
So this is the authenticity card that him and his assistant fill out. So as you can see here, diamond cut Franco, 3 mil, 7.5 inch, 13.6 grams, 22 karat. No diamonds, no gemstones, and then who packed it.
Okay. Nice.
And then just like a little bag that came in and everything.
Now, are you going to wear that a lot?
Well, I wear it anytime I'm not working. So my day job is I work for my town here, so I'm out there mowing the properties, maintaining all like our tree circles, all our flower beds. If there's any kind of event, sporting event, we help set it up. So it's a lot of labor. So I don't have it on during the day, but at night I throw it on. I take it off during the night just because the way the lobster clasp is made, as you can see there,
Mm-hmm.
it's not real thick. It's not like a barrel lock, so obviously I can't sleep with it. Which maybe I could be, but I just don't want to because it's 22 karat, and I ripped the lobster clasp off my 10 karat bracelet I had before, so probably going to be easier on this one.
Gotcha. Okay. Gotcha.
But price-wise, I was talking to local jewelers here in Canada, like independents, not like mall or like big chain. He said, basically, I got this bracelet at about $120 Canadian per gram of 22 karat gold. The gentleman who owned the store said he has to sell his 10 karat at 120, 110. So I'm paying basically 10 karat gold price for a 22 karat bracelet.
Wow. Cool.
Yeah, the owner, he said, once if you buy it, please come show me because I want to look at it and want to. I got it tested at a collection coin shop, and he tested at 22, so it tested fine. The jewelry store owner was so impressed with the quality, he said he's going to buy his own chains from him because it's cheaper than if he got them through his wholesalers.
Wow.
Yeah.
Cool. That's cool.
Yeah.
Good move. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Good move. All right.
And it's exactly what I wanted. Something subtle, because from far away you really don't like notice it. That doesn't pop. The only thing that really pops is the color. So if you notice the color, then you'll notice it. But otherwise, it's really, really subtle. It's what
I think it's classy. I think it's classy looking. Absolutely.
Yeah, especially when I pair it with this 34 millimeter Rolex. No one really looks at it twice.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And if you put on like a nice dress shirt with the two of those and went out to dinner or something, that'd be a very elegant combination.
Yeah.
I like it.
Yeah.
2 thumbs up.
Thank you.
Absolutely.
Right.
Well done. Thank you for calling in.
No problem. Have a good day.
Kyle says you're pulling that off well.
Thank you, Kyle.
All right. Thank you. Take care.
No
All right.
See ya.
Just like that. Making moves, getting good deals. Subscribers getting good deals out there making a deal. The lovely Brianna says that's a cool bracelet. Let's see. Yes, the one we saw was in decent condition and traded for just under 800 USD. I can't find many great examples on eBay. Let's see. We're looking at one of those recently on, yes. I guess I missed what you were looking at. I'm sorry. Kyle, not sure what you were talking about. Let's see. Tim says, the virus was no worse than normal flu. 4 days with a temperature of 37 to 37.5 with rest and perfectly fine after that. Only thing I would say is that it is probably more infectious. Tim, are you sure you had it and not the regular flu? How do you know what you had for sure? Kyle's in the house. Eduardo, you are really pulling that off well. Okay, I already said that. Show us that Rolex once more. Uh-oh, you wanted him to tease you with that Rolex, huh? Okay. No. We can't let you get too much of a good thing here. Let's see. Cool bracelet. I'm looking forward to buy one myself for my birthday. We saw a faux pay bracelet for a pretty good price on eBay also. You might want to look at those, the faux pay bracelets, because they stretch on and off. They don't have a clasp that you have to worry about. And according to Steve, they're very rugged. So there you go. Now, faux pay makes different types, right? I'm talking about the one that stretches. It has the built-in springs, and it's all 18 karat gold. That's the one I'm talking about. I think I might have bookmarked one. Give me a second here and see if I put one in my watch list. Give me a second here. And I will look. I think I did. I'm not sure. Yeah, here it is. I'll show you. Oh, it's out of stock. Darn. Darn. Anyway, that was a good price. That was $1,500, and it was too small for me, so I didn't get it. But that's the style. The nice thing about it is that is the one with it's got the internal springs, and so the whole thing stretches, and you just stretch it on and off your wrist. So that's kind of cool the way it works. So that's the one that I was looking at, but it is gone. It is out of stock, sold. There you go. Let's see. It seemed the 34 millimeter filled out Eduardo's 6.75 inch wrist nicely as well. Absolutely, it looked great. Absolutely. And let's say, yes, it does. I wear the 34 mil too long. The 36 feels big. There you go. And you can rock either one, I'm sure. Okay, let me think what else. Time check. Coming up on 19 and a half minutes before the hour, it looks like to me. And everything is... Man, that when I look at the 002, I'm like, wow. I mean, the way the light hits those indices, I got to show you guys. See how the light plays off of those indices? Some troll put a comment on one of my videos. It's a shame you spent all that money for the 002. You could have had another day date. And I said, I hate to break the news to you, but this 002 absolutely trumps a day date. I mean, it's just like so freaking stunning. And as a dress watch, it has no equal. Now, a day date would trump it as an all-arounder. Absolutely, as an all-arounder. This is not an all-arounder. Doesn't pretend to be. But for dress purposes, not even a close call. This has that tremendous elegance factor that you're just not going to get with a day date. Day date is stunning, don't get me wrong. I wore them for 40 freaking years. But it doesn't have the elegance that this thing has. That's how that whole thing works. Let's see here. My wife got it from work, and all the staff all tested positive. They all recovered and are back at work. Interesting, okay. Stunning, but probably too big for my baby wrists. What were you talking about? Are you talking about the faux pay bracelet? I think it was about 6 and, what was the size of this thing? It was, they had the length of it somewhere. 6.3 inches. So it's actually pretty small. It would be too small for either of us. It would be for a lady. It would be for, it might even be too big though for Leslie or Brianna. It's for a lady with a normal sized lady wrist. I'll put it that way, not a tiny wrist probably. They like them slack. They might like them loose. It would probably work. Let's see. And Clivester says, Trump 2020. I like the coffee bean bracelet in yellow gold. Lance says, Craig, if the Rolex Submariner returned to a 40 millimeter case and added if the Rolex Submariner returned to a 40 millimeter case and added a spring drive movement, would you sell the 231 and buy that? You mean if they fixed the case and went back to a case more like the red sub? Yeah, I think that would be very doable. If they had something that had a case more like the red sub, it'd be thinner than this watch. Than that watch, right? It would be thinner, right? Aren't they about 13 mils, the subs, thick? So let's say they could get it in at 13 mils thick, and with the old style case, and the spring drive, licensed from Grand Seiko, absolutely, I think that would be a contender. That would be pretty awesome piece. Scott's in the house. Craig, but I will say one thing about that. I've gotten spoiled by that big dial and those big hands. I mean, it's so freaking legible. The other day when I was at the Rolex AD and I was looking at they had some watches there that were 40 mil. They had a Yachtmaster that was 40 mil, and it just looked small. I hate to say, it really looked small, and I think I've been spoiled by this bigger size as far as the legibility, So, yeah. Oh, and that's the other problem is the Rolex probably wouldn't be in titanium. So yeah, that would be a no-go. I'd rather stay with this than go with steel. Yeah, absolutely, I would stay with that titanium over steel. So there's the other issue. That's the elephant in the room. Let's see. Hello, Scott, and to Craig. Okay, Scott's in the house. Craig, how do you feel about the new Submariner being released tomorrow? Well, we'll see what they release. I'm optimistic that they might come out with something nice, but I doubt they will. I think they're going to stick with a funky-looking case on it. Even if they just soften the lugs a little bit, it probably won't be enough. They need to do more. They need to go back to the way it was before the super case. The super case is, in my opinion, a total fail. What's that logo top right? Just playing around. That's a Mid-Atlantic TV logo. Mid-Atlantic TV logo. Mike Pike. Hey, Craig, have you seen the new Netflix show Cuties? No, I have not. Nope. I haven't watched Netflix for quite a while. I've been watching mainly YouTube lately. And I've been watching a lot of the Bus Grease Monkey. He's got a cool channel. He works on all these old buses, and it's just cool. Let's see. Fisto Bowser, the real Clive voted for Hillary. Okay. Trashy Larry, I heard that's a cute program. Trashy Larry. Durr says, word on the block is that they are making the new Submariner 41 mil with thinner lugs. We'll find out when they release the new watches tomorrow. Yes, we will. And making it 41 that's no big deal. That's 1 millimeter, for gosh sakes. I mean, if anybody bitches about that, then yeah, I can't know what to tell you. I mean, it's a sport watch, for gosh sakes. I mean, it's not. It in my opinion, it never made a good all-arounder. That's why I went from the sub to the GMT for an all-arounder, because the GMT's thinner, right? And you can wear it under a shirt cuff. That the sub was always a little bit too bulky. So that's why I went to the GMT. For something that was more versatile, right? Let's see. Kyle says the findings on the Dubai expats video looked real to me. Okay. Of course, it could be photoshopped. Okay, Eduardo. So is the new sub going to have a blue bezel and black dial? If it does, I mean, that'd be okay, but I think it should be all blue. I don't get the whole concept of having a black bezel with a black dial with a blue bezel. I just don't. And they say, well, it's to protect the guys that bought the white gold one. Yeah, that's ridiculous. You're going to screw up one watch just to try to protect people that bought another watch? That's kind of ridiculous. Clive says, Hillary was a man's man. That was for 2016. This is 2020 Trump, okay? Tim's in the house. The consensus is that we'll have a new movement. Well, I should hope so. Durs in the house. 41 mil is a perfect modern size for the Submariner. It's a smart move if it's true. There you go. Yeah, but 41 is really just 1 millimeter, so it's not going to be that much of a difference. I think that's fine. I think that's fine. I think even if they went to 42, they'd have been okay. Like I say, it's not a good all-arounder anyway. Got an email back from Crown and Caliber. Let's see. Thank you for sharing that. I will pass this along. If we can be of any assistance to you in the future, please let me know. So we're going to see. I did write an email to Crown and Caliber, and to see if they wanted to play ball, to see if they wanted to give Bree a nice deal on that watch. Got to clean my glasses again. I hate the way these things get smudged up. I don't even touch them or anything. They just get dust or whatever on them. Pain in the neck. Don't ever get old, guys. Don't get old so you have to wear glasses. It's a pain. So you clean them and they still, aren't perfect. Okay. So, I said, hey, listen, we'll talk about you on the show. We'll show some of your stuff. You could even Skype in from time to time. Just give Bree a good deal, right? So we'll see what they do. We'll see what they do. They just sent a little canned response back to me. We'll see if they look at. I sent them a link to the shows to yesterday's show, and I sent them some information about what we do on the channel, and we'll see if they want to play ball or not. Maybe we can use some leverage and get Bree a good deal. We've used leverage before for Bree. We got her those moccasins, those Town View moccasins. They sent her those gratis for her doing a review on them and so forth. They were very nice to do that. And so, yeah, we'll see we'll see if one of these big heavy duty watch retailers like Bob's Watches or, that outfit that Kyle dealt with, maybe one of these outfits wants to sharpen their pencil and give Bree a deal and for some visibility. I wonder if Tim's still broadcasting. We're up to 37 viewers. Maybe some of the viewers left there. Maybe he stopped broadcasting. Let's see. I think changes on the video on TDE channel are all good moves by Rolex. 41 mil and slimmer lugs. Okay, absolutely. Slimmer lugs are going to be a good thing. The SBGN 005 dial is the same size as my 42 millimeter Speedmaster. Yeah, it's got a nice big dial because the bezel's not as big. Absolutely. I agree with that. Good call. By the way, this 002 has a very big dial because the bezel's very small. This dial on this watch is about the same size as the dial on my 43 millimeter diver. Can you believe that? And this is a 38.5 mil watch. So it's got a great big legible dial. I freaking love it. I'm all over it. I'm all over that freaking dial. Is absolutely stunning. Look at that. You think I'm exaggerating? Go look at one in person. Kyle's seen one in person. Kyle's seen one. Let's see. 39 millimeter Tudor Black Bay for the ladies. 41 millimeter Submariner for the men. Yeah, I wouldn't wish a Tudor on any lovely lady. I wouldn't give a lovely lady a Tudor. Clive's in the house. If Bree wants a Rolex, I have a few. Contact me if you're interested. There you go. Bree needs to treat herself. She works very hard. Lamont is in the house. He's all over the place with his wrench. There you go. Absolutely. And Fisto says, Crown and Caliber sponsored a watch show by Matt Farah, and Matt accidentally called them Crap and Caliber while reading an ad for them. Oh, well, that's not good. That's not good. I don't know that I would read an ad for them, but I'd be happy to, from time to time, show some of the watches that they have, and I'd be happy to have them Skype in from time to time and talk about any cool deals that they have. I think that'd be fun. That would be fun. Let's see. Clyde, do you have a website? Scott says, I don't think that's the real Clive. That's a scammer. Jifu, Craig, What do you think of the new GS-GMT sports models? Do you prefer the spring drive or the high beat on looks alone? I would go with the spring drive. I definitely liked the spring drives, and I don't. Maybe I'm biased because I like spring drive anyway. You said on looks alone, but weren't the spring drive ones the smaller size, the 40 mil? Correct me if I'm wrong. So yeah, from what I recall, I think I do like the spring drive models. Tim's in the house. I agree that dial and bezel should be all blue rather than black dial, blue bezel. Yes. Who thinks the phony Clive deserves a wrench? Yeah, I don't think that's going to happen. Don't think that. I don't think we give scammers, at least we try not to give scammers a wrench on the channel. And we are at 5:50 p.m. We got 10 minutes to burn. Let me know what you got. What you got. If you got anything else, share it. Smoke them while you got them. Share what you've got. And put any questions in the comments. Rolex release in 10 minutes Geneva time. No, it's not in 10 minutes. Somebody said it was like 5 in the morning. By the way, Bitcoin was pumping earlier, and then it had a little bit of a dump. It had a pump and a dump. Let's see what it's at right now. If I can reload this. This is saying 11,497, but I don't think that's the latest. I'm trying to reload it here. And sometimes it doesn't like to reload on this computer because when I'm broadcasting, I'm hogging all the bandwidth. So I can check it on my, I can check it on my phone quicker and easier. Let's see here, Coinbase. Okay. All right. So it is right now currently at 11,661, 11,661. So it was over 11,700 earlier. And then it took a little dump, and now it's trying to climb back to 11,700. There's a lot of resistance at 11.7 and even more resistance at 11.8. There's quite a sell wall at 11,800. So it's a struggle right now between the bulls and the bears. It's a real struggle. Bitcoin's trying to push higher, but the bears are trying to hold it down. We shall see what we shall see. Let's see. The weak hands are selling and the strong hands are buying. We'll see if the buyers will exceed the weak hands. That's going to be the test. Tim's in the house. Should the show keep going until the release? My friend sold Ethereum at a loss Saturday night, but he still has one whole Bitcoin. Why did he sell his Ethereum at a loss? Why didn't he wait for it to recover and then sell it? Interesting. He's lost faith in Ethereum, huh? I would have never bought it in the first place, of course. But I don't think I would have sold it at a loss. I'd have waited and hoped that it would recover and then sold it. Clive, do you hate Archie or love him? And see, there's some wrench action there. There's some wrench action. Let's see. I recommend my brother's wife for an everyday beater. Jeez, trashy Larry. They allowed that comment though. The wrench gang were thinking about slamming it. Here's the this finally reloaded. Here's the you can see there. You can see the dump. You can see the dump. That big red candle. There are a couple of red candles there. And as we speak, it's dumping a little bit. So we'll see if even if it just holds 11,500, that's very bullish. That's, we're at high numbers, folks. If you think about it, in the entire life, the last 10 years of Bitcoin's life, it has not had that many days above 10,000. The fact that we're well above 10,000 is pretty bullish, if you ask me. So, yeah. Okay, well, we're going to wrap this puppy up unless you guys can think of something to talk about in the chat. Oh, I should show the Lady Bree's website because she was in the chat earlier. So we have an informal arrangement that when she makes an appearance, I will show her website. That's it, briefitdance.com. briefitdance.com. And so go there and subscribe to her channel, her YouTube. There's links to her YouTube. There's links to all her social media on there. And you can also find a link to her Patreon. There are also links if you want to make donations to her to help a starving artist, even though she's eating a pizza there. Help a starving artist create. Help her create. Let's see here. And Clive says, I have a complicated relationship with him. Okay. Let's see. Fisto says, Craig, I'm emailing you a pic of a neutered day date. Okay. We aren't done, says Derek. We talked about day dates earlier, Derek. Eduardo says, wait, I sent a new old stock date just. All right, we'll look at that. Lance sent something. All right, let's let's check the email. Let's check the email. All right, we'll do a time check while I pull up the email here. All right. We'll look at the new old stock date just first. Wow. Whoa. Whoa. That's pretty amazing. Look how tight that is. Wow. And I don't mind the stamped clasps. Not one bit. They work fine. I never had a problem with them over the years. Look at that. Mint condition. That is nice. Sticker in place. Ostensibly not polished. Pretty sharp. Fluted bezel. But if you look real close, so this is the note, see the little bit of roughness right there? See, Rolex finishing was never perfect. It was never at this level of Grand Seiko, I have to say. So I wonder what the price was on that. Do tell. Let us know what the price was on that puppy. Eduardo, let us know what the price was. Let us know in the chat. Okay, and then let's look at this day date. I don't know what's wrong with the day date. Is it a white gold? I'm guessing it's a white gold. Smooth bezel. I wouldn't buy it because I wouldn't want a white gold. You know, why? I mean, why on earth would you buy a white gold day date? I did once because I got a super deal on it and I made some money on it. But other than that, why on earth? And by the way, the reason I got such a good deal on the white gold day date, it was new old stock. It was literally the AD had it for like 3 years, couldn't sell it. And it was a 3-year-old price. And he gave me a huge discount, like 35% off or something. So I ended up getting an insane deal on a brand new white gold date 8. And I wore it for a while, and then I sold it for a nice profit, and that worked out. But that would be the only circumstances under which I would do that. Let's see. Fair deal. Okay. Okay. 5,800 is ridiculous for that. Oh, they're asking 5,800. Okay. The new Rolex watches haven't been released yet. And Tudor Socks, what year is that? Okay. Okay. 3 minutes to the release. Yeah, that $5,800 for that old Datejust, that's only for somebody who just wants a vintage one for some reason. Because, I mean, couldn't you pretty much buy a brand new? No, maybe you couldn't get a steel and gold. A late model, a 6-digit one. I wonder what you'd have to pay for a 6-digit one new. Not new, used, right? Probably be $7 or $8 grand, right? So yeah, you probably wouldn't be able to get one for $5,800. So it's not a horrendous price considering the condition. Not horrendous. In my opinion, all-day date should have a fluted bezel. There you go. I hear you. I believe it's a watch only, no box or papers. Okay. But the condition is amazing. I mean, if you want to just buy one of those and wear it, the condition is really a thing, right? Really important. If you're going to wear the watch, right, you want it to be really nice to start out with. It's like buying a new watch almost. Okay. All right. On that note, it is 6 o'clock. We're going to wrap it up. Those in fair shape are over 4K. I think the price is right for someone who wants that. It's new old stock. Yep. I agree, Kyle. I agree with what you're saying on that. Yes. All right. On that note, puppies, I'm going to figure out how to wrap this puppy up. Wrap it up. Should I show Bree's? No, I won't show Bree's website one more time because I got to do it here. For that, let's see. For that, not a penny over 4,500, says Durr. Yeah, he wants a deal. I don't blame him. Those new old stock just are definitely using the nostalgia card. Craig does not want. Well, here's the thing, though. When you get anything that's in super condition, I mean, if you're buying an older Lexus LS sedan, if you're buying a 10-year-old, LS 460 or something, and it's in just stellar condition, you always pay a premium for stand-up condition. So there's nothing wrong with paying a premium because it is what it is, right? It is what it is. You got no stretch in that bracelet, et cetera, et cetera. All right, on that note, we're going to end it. Thank you all for watching. That's what we say. Thank you for watching. Hey, subscribe, click the bell.